Yeah, this episode happened. Now, by far the best episode of this arc so far. It was insane. And I have a feeling that the rest of this arc is just going to be amazing because things are getting crazy right now. The build up is insane. And I can just not wait for what's going to happen. But let's talk about this episode right here, because it was friggin' brutal. So the end of last week's episode left us on a pretty horrible cliffhanger. This dude shows up at Celti and Shinra's apartment. He beats the crap out of Shinra, like he's just there punching him in the face over and over and over. And it's revealed in this episode that it was the stalker who we've seen before, that super creepy guy looking at the pictures and whatever, because he is basically trying to find everyone who's affiliated with Ruri, or whatever the crap her name is, and take them down, I guess. He's just insane. So he beats the crap out of Shinra. Celti finds him, and she's all pissed that he's beaten up or whatever, so she takes him to the hospital, and he is just in rough shape. His face all covered in blood, his limbs are all over the place. It was just terrible. Really hated seeing Shinra like that, because, you know, he's one of my favorite characters as well. I mean, half the cast is my favorite character. And then this guy sends dudes after Shizuo. They're trying to stab him. Some guy was going to pour acid on him. It was pretty nuts, and of course Masaomi is there, because he comes back into town trying to find Mikado. Now, Shizuo gets saved by one of the blue squares, because Mikado, you know, tells him to. He's like, yo, protect everyone who's cool with me. And Masaomi recognizes him as a blue square, so he chases after him, and this, of course, eventually leads him to the rest of the blue squares, where Mikado was there wearing a mask. And Masaomi stole this guy's phone, so he assumes it's Alba, but later he finds out it's Mikado. But first, the stalker guy shows up. He starts beating up the blue squares. He takes Mikado. This is probably one of the most brutal scenes so far in the entire series. He takes Mikado and just starts smashing his head against a brick wall. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, whoa. And then when he's done with that, you can see all the blood. The mask he's wearing is just covered in blood. The goggles he had on were smashed, and he's just there on the ground. Then Buddy comes over, he starts stomping on Masaomi. It was nuts. And then when Mikado comes to, he lights the dude on fire. Like, Mikado, you know, Mikado sets a dude on fire. That was pretty nuts. Like I've mentioned before, Mikado's going through some crazy changes right now. It's clear that he's being manipulated by Alba. Masaomi kind of got that impression once he meets Alba, and Alba kind of gets this smirk on his face, because, you know, Alba's a lot like Izaya in many ways, and Masaomi kind of catches on to that. Also, before that happened, the stalker went to Henri. However, he was wearing like armored shoes or whatever, so he didn't get stabbed by Saika, because, you know, that would have been way too easy. And what's really creepy is that Mikado, even though he got his face completely destroyed, like, he takes his mask off, he has, like, oh my god, the bruises everywhere, he's bleeding out of everything. It was just horrible to see him like this. But he's still got that creepy smile. He's still going a bit nuts. And yeah, and Masaomi is not happy. You can tell he's not happy with the way Mikado is right now, and he wants to fix it. So yeah, so he calls up his buddies, the Yellow Scarves. So that is going to happen. And also, to make things even more crazier, now the Mafia, you know, Akabayashi and all them, now know who Mikado is. So that's the thing. Now the Mafia is going to be going after Mikado. And the Yellow Scarves are going to be coming down. And at the end of this episode, we see, well, first we see the guy the stalker, his back is just like all gone, it's just like all bloody and stuff. And he's just there sitting down, and all of a sudden this dude shows up who we've never seen before with a giant hammer. So yeah, hopefully he gets the crap beaten out of him, because I absolutely hate that stalker dude. What an asshole, scum of the earth. Oh my god, he's just horrible. But anyway, and then we see a bunch of members of the Dollars, you know, just some people who've been around, including that hammer guy. So I'm not sure if this takes place before or after. Not sure who this guy is, but I'm sure we'll find out. But we see them all with Izaya, because Izaya is back now, and he is up to some scheming. We haven't seen much Izaya in this arc, and this is really making up for it, because we see there he's being all smug, he's talking like he rules the world. He picks up Celti's head, looks out the window, he's like, oh yeah, Oh yeah, crap's going down. So yeah, I am beyond excited for the climax of this arc. I absolutely cannot wait. And I'm just loving it so far. So far I think I'm enjoying this arc more than the last one. I really like the last one, but this one, it seems like a lot more crap's going down. And I like the character arc that Mikado is going through, because something like this would not have happened 2 seasons ago. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you back next week for another review of Durarara.